On Wednesday, 24th September, PlayStation held another State of Play. This one was rumoured to be the big one with a lot of first-party focus, and I can assure you that it delivered. Well, somewhat. I'm going to break down every game we saw and give some further details on more notable games. If you want to support the channel, please consider leaving a like and subscribe, or if you don't like it, then leave a thumbs down and let me know how I can be better for you. And with the housekeeping out the way, let's get straight into it. Kicking off this State of Play was Saros, the upcoming title from Returnal developers Housemarque. This was a known quantity as they promised us 5 minutes of gameplay with the announcement of this event. This follows in Returnal's footsteps and is a roguelike set on the otherworldly shape-shifting planet of Carcosa. Each death sets the planet into a different state, which on paper would promise vastly different experiences for each run. This game will have a permanent progression system. There was a lot of unedited gameplay here, and it focused on some of the powers the protagonist, played by Rahul Kohli, gets to use. First was the Soltari Shield, which absorbs projectiles to fight back with the next ability, Power Weapon. We also got to see a Second Chance ability, which is your classic cheat death power. In terms of movement, we saw a fluid-looking dash and melee attacks that blended with the fast-paced combat. They also flashed some story beats in the form of audio logs and holograms. Lastly, they showed big, beautifully designed boss-like foes. There was the pinnacle one with the many arms we saw in the first reveal, and also some dragons in the sizzle reel. Saros is coming on March 20th, 2026. Zero Parades for Dead Spies was up next. This is the spy espionage thriller from the Disco Elysium developers. It looks very much like a spiritual successor as it has the same art style and dice roll on decisions, bearing the classic tropes of a CRPG. There is a new gameplay mechanic in Zero Parades called Dramatic Encounters, which we saw a bit of in this trailer. This leads to time standing still, so you can go through a series of dice rolls for consecutive outcomes to get out of high pressure situations. This is a nice dynamic way to really put you in the shoes of a spy, and if Disco Elysium is anything to go by, the narrative will be really strong as well. Zero Parades for Dead Spies is coming in 2026. It actually happened, everyone. Microsoft showed up at a PlayStation event, as Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is making its way over to PS5 on December 8th. It has PS5 Pro support, and further, PSVR 2 support is in development. I'm not a VR guy, but this game feels like it would fit perfectly on that hardware. Battlefield 6 gave us a glimpse of their single-player campaign. It has lots of destruction and looks very oorah. Pulling from the PlayStation blog, after the War Stories episode structure of Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, Battlefield 6 is a return to a singular narrative, one that has you fighting battles across 3 continents. During this campaign, you will fight a tank battle under the shadows of the pyramids, take to the streets of Brooklyn for intense gunfights, perform a halo jump into enemy territory, and more in this modern military thriller. Battlefield 6 is just around the corner as it drops on October 10th. Deus Ex Remastered is coming with enhanced visuals, new controls, and haptic feedback response on February 5th, 2026. Halloween the game is an asymmetrical horror sandbox where you play as a survivor or Michael Myers himself. This seems to be in the same vein as Texas Chainsaw Massacre from a couple of years ago. The developers Ilphonic are the creators behind Killer Clowns from Outer Space the game and Predator Hunting Grounds, so you can expect a similar formula here when it hits on September 8th, 2026. Yes, that's right, 2026. Dungeon Crawler Last Epoch is in development for PS5, and they also announced the first expansion, Oribis, which will hit at the same time. The 7 Deadly Sins Origins is an open-world RPG with creature captures, fishing, resource management, crafting, and dungeon combat, all packaged within its anime inspiration. It looks like a big game, and it also is promised to have an original story when it arrives on January 28th, 2026. Sonic Racing Crossworlds gets Mega Man and Proto Man, plus Dr. Wily's Castle track next year. Neo 3 got its release date of February 6th, 2026. Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remastered is coming on March 19th, 2026. Action RPG Code Vein, which I believe appeared earlier in the summer at Summer Games Fest, got a release of January 30th, 2026. And Final Fantasy Tactics popped up again ahead of its release in a couple of days on the 30th. Let It Die Inferno is the next entry in the Let It Die series. This PvEVP game centers around melee action and roguelite elements. You will lose everything if you die, so make it back safely if you can, whilst fighting against player-controlled enemies or NPCs. Unlike the previous entries, this game takes you to the depths of hell when it releases on December 3rd, 2025. If it wasn't for the showcase closer, this next game would be my game of the show. This was a gorgeous 2D action platformer set within a book. Chronoscript the Endless End is a dark fantasy experience where the editor gets trapped in the story and must try and escape. This showing absolutely gripped me. It looks so up my street with the 2D platforming and boss battles. This one has a 2026 release. Crimson Desert, which is a game I'm still unsure of what it is, got a release date. It is an open world RPG that has a fantasy medieval setting. This title just seems to be doing everything, and I don't understand how it will all come together. Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough as it hits on March 19th, 2026. There always seems to be hardware at these September State of Plays, and this one was the Pulse Elevate wireless speakers. Not something for me, but I'm sure someone out there will want it. We got the PS Plus lineup in October with Alan Wake 2, Goat Sim 3 Cocoon, and The Last of Us Part 2 also joins on September 26th. For the Classics catalogue, we get Tekken 3, Soul Calibur 3, and Tomb Raider Anniversary. Gran Turismo 7 gets a Spec 3 update in December with new racetracks, new vehicles, a data logger experience, and other features. The second hardware in quick succession was the God of War 20th Anniversary controller. You could tell they piled on the housekeeping in the end, can't you? But that doesn't matter, as we got the showstopper that everyone was hoping for, Insomniac's Wolverine. A concern with this game was that they might hold back and not make it violent. Well, I can confirm that this game is gory as fuck. Insomniac have said they really focused on the blood tech. This had fast-paced combat and the enemies were switching between humans and robots with blood. Liam McIntyre is the actor playing Logan, and Insomniac are striving for an emotional, angry Logan, but someone who experiences a range of nuanced feelings. The game looks incredible and really crisp. The fidelity is completely next level. Pulling from the PlayStation blog, Logan is the quintessential reluctant hero, haunted by the consequences of unleashing the beast within. Once the claws come out, Wolverine doesn't hold back. As a living weapon forged against his will, he'll use razor-sharp adamantium to dispatch enemies and untamed berserker rage to build momentum on the battlefield. He'll leave an impression on his foes with fast, fluid, and rapid attacks and techniques that'll dismember or break anyone who gets in his way. Wolverine might be distant, but he isn't afraid to get up close and personal when it counts. This reveal showcased lots of different locations across the world, as well as recognizable characters like Omega Red and Mystique. I'm sure this one shot up the list for people's most anticipated games as it got a release window of fall 2026. That was everything shown at the State of Play, and if I were to rank it, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10 overall. There are a good handful of games here that I'm excited for, and they are topped off with Wolverine, Saros, and Chronoscript. Let me know what you thought of the State of Play in the comments below. If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe, or leave a thumbs down and I'll try to be better next time. Check out the channel for my recent reviews of Indiana Jones The Order of Giants and Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and for everything else casual gamer, keep it here. Peace and love.